Today we're going to show you how to change your channel art, and it can be a little bit complicated. You need to know the proper dimensions so you don't have weird graphic situations. So I'm going to show you on screen here as we go along what I'm going to do. Log into your account. Here I am at my YouTube homepage. You can see here there's a lot of stuff that I don't want. You can go to the upper right hand corner, click on the pencil icon and edit channel art. And if you do that, you're going to get this box open. Down below, there's a how to create channel art. This gives you full information on what you need to do under the heading image, size, and file guidelines. That's what you want to look at. This diagram is going to be your key to making everything appear in a quality format across any device, whether it's a television or a smartphone. If you adhere to what this template is showing you, you will not have any problems. If you want to upload channel art for the bar, it has to be 2560 by 1440 pixel. The other important thing here, 4 megabytes or smaller file size. There is an option at the very bottom of the section to download channel art template. You are going to want to download that, save it somewhere, you'll find it on your computer, and then we can throw it into PowerPoint. Let me just talk about what program you'll also want to download. You also want to find the program GIMP 2.8. At the time I'm making this, 2.8 is the latest version of GIMP. GIMP is a Photoshop clone. I shouldn't say clone, it's open source software. So anything or almost anything you can do in Photoshop, you can do in GIMP. And it's completely free to download. This is their official site here, and you can download it. Once you have this, you can really not only customize channel art, but you can also make some adjustments to thumbnails and anything else you're doing for videos. And then another thing, when you're trying to make channel art, some of us, myself included, are not that talented. If you are an artist, you're fine. Make something up, scan it into your computer, and we'll worry about the scaling later. But if you're not an artist, you want to go and try and find a website that offers imagery or art that you can use completely for free. You want to find preferably Creative Commons downloads. The specific thing here is you want to make sure that you have the ability to either use these or use them commercially, however you're going to do it. There are a lot of sites out there that can help you find these. This is where the research comes in. You're going to have to do some research to find the art you need. But one that I'd recommend, and this is a favorite of mine, Gratisography. Gratisography is a website that's completely free to use the imagery from, even for commercial purposes. The guy who runs the site is named Ryan McGuire, and Ryan has put all his pictures on here, and he tells you in the very first paragraph, you can use these for personal or commercial projects and download them from the site completely for free. But if you want to support Ryan, it also has a link to buy him a cup of coffee on there. Everybody has different artistic styles, but I really like the photos this guy has and makes available. They're chocked full of personality. If you can't draw anything, you want to come down and scroll through and find any sorts of photos you like. Here are some pictures that I've downloaded from Ryan on Gratisography, and I'm going to take this first one here. I'm going to open it up in PowerPoint. So I've got some already in here. I'm going to go to this blank one, find that file that you want to use, and I'm just going to drag it in. I've got some white space here, so I'm just going to stretch it out a little. This stretch can distort some sensitive pictures, but here it's not too bad. We don't have anything that's too precisely scaled. So when I downloaded the channel art template, I actually put that in a PowerPoint slide, and you can see that here. This is going to be what you see in the channel art template. You have different device sizes, from a TV down to a smartphone. Everything is going to display differently depending on what device you use. In the center, there's a very darker gray area that says text and logo safe area. What that means is that you are going to need to create a text box or a logo image, and you're going to have to make it fit between 1546 and 423 pixels. So as long as we have everything in this text and logo safe area, that means that we're going to be able to display it whether it's on a giant television effectively or a small smartphone effectively. So the way I size things up is I just go into PowerPoint and I'm just going to put a text box over it. The text box will give you the right setup if you just drag it slightly over and get it to be the same size. I'm having slight issues just because there's no text in it, so there may be some issues when you drag it initially. It might be better just to type things out first. I'll just type some gibberish in here, and now I'm going to try and size the text box. This keeps shrinking the dimensions because I haven't blown the font up too big, but if you blow the font up big, which is what you're going to want to do because your channel art should convey your name of your channel or your logo. So I'm going to blow it up to maybe, let's go to 120 and see how that gets. All right, this is actually not too bad. Make it white so we can see it better. The text box is right in here, and I'm also going to center this just to help us see. So the text box is still within these limits that we have. Maybe white's a bad color. Let me make it just any other color we have. Okay, there you go. Now you can clearly see. Here's my text, here's the text box, and as long as the text box is within this innermost darker gray area that you can see, as long as you have all of your text or your image with your logo on it aligned in that safe text zone, any device, it will line up correctly. I have some examples where I've already done that. For instance, here's one I'm using on my website currently. I've gone ahead and I've done a logo here. I'm just going to copy and paste this logo, and I'm going to come down here and put it on the new picture that we downloaded from Gratisography. So I will just copy and paste. Everything is good. Now, you can use other programs to do exactly what I'm doing, but I just choose PowerPoint because it's simple and everybody has it. I'm going to save this as, you just go to Save As in Microsoft PowerPoint, and once you're there, you find the folder you want to put it in. Again, remember this folder, write it down if you have to. And I'm going to put it into thumbnails, or actually, you know what, I'm going to put it in a different one. I'm going to put it up here. When you're at this screen for Save As, PowerPoint is by default going to want to save it as a PowerPoint file, and that's not what you want. We're only interested in saving one slide, and we're interested in saving it as a picture. So immediately you have to go to Save As Type and change it, and you're going to just hit J, and that'll take you to JPEG file interchange format, and you're going to click on that. And I'm going to name this horse face, okay, and I will save it. When this box pops up, it'll ask, which slides do you want to export? You only want to export one. It should be the one that's highlighted. The one that's highlighted is the horse face. That's the only one I'm going to export, and it now will save it in that folder as a picture. Okay, and here it is down here. So I have horse face. We are halfway done. The next thing we need to do is all about scaling things down to the proper dimensions. We know that the scale is proper with regards to the safe text space, but we need the image, if it's too big, to be able to be uploaded to YouTube to fit in the channel art block space that's there. Go into our GIMP program, okay, and in GIMP, you're just going to find that file and open it. Horse face, I'm going to open this. Okay, so here is our horse face with our logo right in there. This is good, except for the dimensions are not correct. So we're going to go to Image, Scale Image. Okay, now this is the dimensions. Right now it's set at 1280 by 720 pixels. To go into channel art, it has to be different dimensions. We want to make this image from whatever size it is. In this case, it's actually going to, I think it's going to blow it up a little bit. We need to make it 2560 by 1440 pixels. 60 by 1440. All we do is we hit scale. All right. Now that changed. You can see in the image in the screen, it changed the size. What we want to do now, and this is a tricky part with working with GIMP, A lot of people want to save the file as, but you actually need to export it as. Well, it's tempted to hit save as, we need to go to export. Export as. I'm just going to save it as horseface, but I'm going to label it as horseface 2560 by 1440, which are the pixel dimensions, and I will export those. This is going to pop up and export image as JPEG, and it'll talk about the quality. If you're new at this or not good with technology, leave the defaults alone. But if you find you're over the 4 megabyte limit for uploading channel art, tweak with the quality and you're going to have to lower it. In this case, my quality is at 90%. I don't think this is too complex of a graphic, so I'm actually going to raise it to 100%, and I'm going to click export. Now that that's happened, we've exported this. I'm going to shrink all of these things down. Horseface 2560 by 1440. Back to YouTube we go, and in YouTube, we're going to go to Edit Channel Art. I'm just going to drag and drop our Horseface 2560 1440. Once I've dragged it in, it automatically went to vision of how the bar will appear on a TV, desktop, and smartphone. There is this option to adjust and crop images on the spot if you're not happy. I really believe it's more simple to work with things in PowerPoint and get it right the first time than cropping things in YouTube. I'm going to hit select, and I'm going to get saving notification, then saved. So now you can see on the PC what the channel art will look like. Because we took all those extra precautions to make sure all our text or our logo art appear in that safe zone, if we check on our smartphone, we can see all the information is there, resized, because we kept everything proper in that safe zone. I don't have a TV to drag over, but if we looked at it on a giant screen TV, everything would appear in proper placement there as well.